Nnamdi Kanu, 3 ways Justice Nyako favored Kanu in his absence. Welcome to the news, and thank you for tuning in to listen. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, was expected to make an unscheduled appearance in court today, but was absent. Kanu is standing trial for charges leveled against him by the federal government, bordering on treasonable felony and inciting of violence through his speeches. He had his court date adjourned to 19th to 20th of January 2022. This means that today's hearing was only in response to the plea to abridge time. Kanu lead counsel Ifeanyi Ejiofor had approached the court requesting that a case be heard in November or December 2021 has again the January 2022 adjourned date. Well, as is expected, the federal government filed a counter affidavit in the opposition to the plea. This left the judge, Justice Nyako, with a decision to make. She indicated that there was no judicial time to consider the matter, but ended up moving the date back to 18th instead of the initial 19th of January 2022. In the midst of all this, there are at least 3 areas that the judge favored Kanu. Of course, Kanu did not need to be in court because such a hearing on timing does not necessarily need the defendant. Here are the ways Justice Nyako favored Kanu. 1. The judge ordered the Department of State Services DSS to allow Nnamdi Kanu have a change of clothes. This is because it appears as evidence from his court appearances that he is stuck with just his Fendi designer to wear. The order to get him more clothes will definitely bring some relief to him. 2. The judge also ordered that Kanu be given medical attention while in detention. This made that fears of his deteriorating health will be allayed. This is a huge favor for Kanu, though he was not present. 3. The DSS were also ordered to allow him practice his faith. For a man in captivity and usually isolated, as reports have it, practicing his faith is integral in maintaining his sanity. With these 3 orders, the judge just favored Kanu and ensures he received maximum comfort while awaiting his court date in 2022. In all, I would like to opine that she was as just fair as she could, and this instruction to the DSS on behalf of Kanu goes a long way to upholding democracy and the law. Unless proven guilty, one is still innocent in the eyes of the law. Please, let me put it to view that those coming out to say this is a favor, this is not a favor. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. This is not a favor. You are not guilty till you are proven guilty. That means you are not to serve any term, except they are going to put it in the law that because you have been tortured and battered. Let's say, for instance, you were meant to serve, let's say, 3 months jail term for a crime you never committed. Maybe you are still under trial. You have not been proven innocent nor guilty. And you are in court, you are in and out of court, and the place where you are being detained, you are subjected to very inhumane treatment. It might not be physical, so that, they might not go physical on you so that the whole world will not know. They might decide to go emotional, and psychological. Is it that when you come out and you are freed, you are compensated? Is it that, yes, this part I'm saying is very, very important. Because there are people who they suffer so much at the hands of the law. And at the end of it, these people are freed. Just like the recently released MASSOB members who spent 15 years, 15 good years in jail. And after they were tried, they were not guilty. In such a case, is it not better that these people are well compensated? When I say compensated, do you know how many? 15 years. 15 years, once upon a time, 15 years ago, things were very better. They could come out that, had it been it was that same year, they would have moved on with their lives. But now they are coming back to almost nothing. Some of them, their family members, of course, would have given up on them. Or they have given up on whether they existed or not, or maybe they have died somewhere and they could not reach them. 15 years. So in such a case now, it should be added, in short, that this our constitution does not reflect our will at all. And perhaps, the coming administration would, call together everyone. Let's hope so. And let's be positive. And, we are going to make another constitution that really, really reflects the will of the people. Now, but before then, it should, there are things that should happen. Things like this. How then do you compensate somebody who maybe even they have went physical on the person? There are various reports of, men being captured, they are battered, they are beaten, and, all sorts of things are done against these people. And when they come out, they are freed. It is observed that they are innocent. What do you do in such a case? What do you do? Okay, now there are also women who, while in detention, they suffer rape, they suffer all sorts of inhumane treatment. When they come out, do they receive any? It's not like this compensation will do anything for them. It will only help them balance their life, but the trauma that they have been through is going to stick to them for the rest of their lives. So the compensation will be like, take care, just use it as compensation. Let's see how it can help you, balance up yourself before picking up, because these people need to balance themselves. Even those that were released recently by the courts, I'm forgetting the particular state that particular court is at. Those that were released recently, these people will need time to balance themselves. They'll need to be in an environment of love, somebody or people who will show them love, who is going to ensure that they're not strained, because the trauma that they have been subjected to, oh no, you don't want to hear it. You do not want to hear it. So this particular thing now that the court did is only the right thing to do. It is not a favor. Nigerians, come off it. It is not a favor, because this thing, if you're saying it's a favor, that means everyone who is, is accused for a crime is guilty. That's what you're saying, until proven not guilty. And it is not right to sweep, all body, everyone on that, you are guilty until you're proven not guilty. That means in that case, you batter people receiving human treatment. And when they come out, they're like, yes, that is why some things like this should be placed in place. Should be put in place. These people, if they're not innocent, you don't touch them. If you touch them emotionally, psychologically, or you abuse them physically as well, that means you're going to have to compensate. Yes. Whether you are the DSS, so whether they are the police, whether you are somebody else, it should be that way, because if not, the innocent will continue to suffer in the hands of these people called the law enforcement agencies. That is my take on this one. So it is the right thing to do, and it is democratic. We are living a democratic state, for crying out loud, not in the military regime where these things, when it happens, it is military style. This is not military. This is not the regime of a military. Nigeria is now a democratic state. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.